What other car for this price does that? I can't think of any. When Chery came back into South Africa, I was, like many of you are, quite skeptical. And this week, for the first time, I get to drive the Tiggo 4 Pro that everybody's talking about. But should you consider this car? And if so, which model should you go for? Well, that's why we're here to find out. The Tiggo 4 range has recently been updated and now offers leather and 6 airbags across the range. The entire range now also has voice command. There's no other car on the market that has this many features for the price. There has to be a catch, right? Outside, the differences are small between the comfort model over there and this top spec SE A-1 over here. You've got LED lights available on this car, not on that one. And then you've got 17-inch wheels available on the top spec model and 16 on the comfort. You've also got a sunroof on top there, which comes in quite handy on days like today. But the thing about Chery is that their range comes exceptionally highly spec'd, so you get a lot of car for your money. Doesn't matter which one you get. There is a difference between the engines though. That is the normally aspirated version, and this is the turbocharged version. So let's first step inside the comfort model, and it is pretty comfortable inside here. You've got leather seats, and they're calling it vegan leather in 2022, but it feels pretty good and comfortable, and there is leather everywhere as far as the eye can see. The plastic parts over here are also soft touch plastics, even on the dashboard. Attention to detail is incredible inside here. The switch gear is the same that can be found in the 7 and the 8 Tiggo model, which already feel quite premium. So you get a premium cabin with premium fittings and touch points in a car that isn't premium. Being the comfort model, it's got the analog dash, which looks stylish in its brushed aluminium finishes. Because I can't remember it, this once again is the spec sheet, and even the comfort model comes with a host of features as standard. Of course, it's got a touchscreen display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you've also got the climate control here, which is touchscreen but fuss-free, thankfully. And now step into the top spec, newly updated ADAS version. It's got all the bells and whistles that you'd expect from a car that costs a lot more than this. And just like the other one, it's got soft touch leathers, but you see little red trim highlights and red stitching to let you know which model you're in. You've also got a digital cluster over there. It's quite intuitive and easy to figure out. And leather touches even by the gear lever over here. The big change is the electrically operated sunroof over here, which is a welcome addition when cruising around in Hermanus. Now that I'm sitting in the top spec model, let me read you some of the specs that both of these cars come with. You've got dual front airbags, front side airbags, curtain airbags, ABS, EBD, EBA, ESP, TCS, roll stability control, EPS, hill assist, downhill assist, auto locking, tire pressure monitoring system, rear parking sensors, and then on this model you also get a 360 camera on a car that costs as much as this one does. Then on this top spec model you get blind spot detection, front collision warning, automatic braking system, rear cross traffic alert, lane charge assist, and intelligent high beam control. The list goes on and on and on and on. But enough of that, let's go drive both of these cars and see what they perform like on South African roads. Finally behind the wheel of the new Chery, and this is the normally aspirated version. So you don't get all the power and you don't get all the features, but what you get is a cost-effective car with one heck of a warranty. Where many local manufacturers only give 3 years of warranty as standard, Chery gives you a 5-year warranty. And you can even extend that if you maintain ownership of the vehicle to 1,000,000 kilometers on the engine. Now, obviously, that is part of the sales pitch. But when you're a manufacturer and you're getting questioned about your reliability or whether or not you're going to stay in the country, a 1,000,000 kilometer warranty might put some of those worries at ease. Now, I would try and remember all the features on the Chery, but I'd rather put them on the screen for you to see because most Cherys come jam-packed with features. And there aren't many options to choose from. All you got to do is choose a different model and you get another additional list of options. But the big difference between the two cars we're driving today is that this one is normally aspirated and the other one is turbocharged. Now, Chery cars run a CVT gearbox, which is a swear word in certain company, but on a commuter, it's just fine. And this CVT gearbox specifically is award-winning. So it shifts like a regular automatic, but without much of the lag of a CVT gearbox. There is a little bit of delay on the engine. It's not the most refined drivetrain, but we've seen that with Chinese manufacturers, and their drivetrains get better over time. And I do suspect that Chery cars are going to be improving. Sooner or later, you or someone you know is going to be driving one of these. Now we're heading into Hermanus traffic. All of 3 cars at the stop sign. And of course it's load shedding too, but I've got an automatic gearbox and also automatic hold. So I don't have to hold the handbrake. I can just wait and put my foot in the gas and the handbrake releases automatically. That, with what manufacturers call comfort features, means that this is a very comfortable place to be inside. Torque on takeoff is just fine. And acceleration is adequate, but this is a city runabout, perfect for a seaside village like this where you just need to go to the shops and back. Chery do a lot of things right, and their seats are quite good. This one feels a little bit too heavily bolstered for me personally, but it's comfortable. Seating position is good, and you've got this big aperture in front here so that you can see what's going on up ahead. There are a few things that I don't like, but I need to be nitpicking. Number one, this rearview mirror over here is one of the few things in the cabin that doesn't feel premium. Also, I don't like the feel of this gear lever on top. It's quite a hard plastic. Again, nitpicking. And then, lastly, I don't like the action of the gear lever when I slot it into manual mode. But in a car like this, me personally, I would almost never use that function anyways. Having said that, the car is still brand new, and it could be that it just needs to loosen up a little bit. This comfort model has got manually adjustable seats and rake and reach adjustable steering, but I can still get the perfect, or at least my perfect, seating position by switching and playing with those levers. Then there's all the additional features like the automatic locking and the voice activation.
What's up?
Open driver window.
Opening driver window.
What other car for this price does that? I can't think of any. I could be wrong. Comment below if there's another car for this price point that does that. And it does it so well, I have not once been asked to repeat myself.
I'm listening.
Close driver's side window.
Alright, closed.
Even with this accent, which has always proven to be a problem with these systems, I can now talk to the car. But as an overall driving experience, even on gravel, this car proves very comfortable, and I do like the fact that this one has the slightly chunkier tires, which means you get a much more comfortable ride than anything with lower profiles. I've got to say, these Cherys really have surprised me. I wanted to not like these cars. In fact, I've got bad memories of the QQ, as do most of us. Those weren't very good cars at all. But this is a whole other thing. And Chery's R&D that they do internationally clearly has paid off. They've also got some very, very influential and famous designers that they've had on the payroll. some of whom now have gone to Pininfarina and have come from BMW. So these cars are starting to get very much well put together and well designed. I think I've kind of figured the Chery out. I think it's the kind of car that you have to drive at a sedate pace, in a sedate, relaxed manner. Inside, it's very quiet, very shielded from the outside elements, whether it's noise or anything else. It's comfortable and easy to drive, especially when tootling around like this. It's a good runabout. Finally, behind the wheel of the more powerful turbocharged Chery. And it is very nippy. The engine size and power combined with the size of the body makes this car a pokey little combination. There is a slight delay on that initial throttle, but if you put it in sport mode, then it's much, much better. Threading my way through some tight roads in Hermanus, it feels more premium than the comfort version, and even with the bigger wheels, the levels of comfort over speed bumps is not that bad. You do feel the smaller bumps ever so slightly more, and for me personally, I would usually opt for the higher profile tire. But with this car, you do get all that extra power, and I think that's a winning combination. Jeez. You can get solid fuel consumption as mentioned by driving conservatively, but with a car like this, who wants to do that? This one is much more suited to zipping around town. The normally aspirated one makes me want to drive much more slowly and sedate, whereas this one makes me want to put my foot down and explore how fast I can go. But I'm still in the suburbs, I need to maintain the speed limit. On the highway though, you can stretch its legs and then you're able to get to the speed limit without much fuss. 0 to 100 time is very respectable. And just like everything else in this car, it's a respectable package all around, I think. I do quite like the brushed aluminium accents on the side, and as mentioned earlier, these highlights can be found on the entire Chery range, so you get a car that shares parts with a vehicle that's much, much more premium, meaning whoever buys this one gets the benefit of all that R&D Chery has been doing over the last couple of years. So again, what don't I like? And the same can apply for this one. The same rear view mirror, that's not my favorite. The cup holders here aren't bad though, even compared to the Tiggo 7 and Tiggo 8. This one, however, does have this incredible 360-degree camera. That means that when I'm tootling around like this, I can see exactly where I'm going and how close I'm getting to a curb or pavement. In a car like this, oh man, the spec on this car is just amazing. So my time with the Chery is almost up, and once again, this brand has left me surprised and impressed. I think all of my motoring colleagues that have driven this car have told me, you are going to be blown away with this car. So it's not just me tooting the horn of this car. It really is critically acclaimed, and so far, by all accounts, most owners are happy too. You get that incredible warranty, you get that backup. So the reasons for not buying it are mainly the fuel consumption. But again, for the money, you get so much car for so much less. I think, as someone that's only spent a few days with this car, I do think that a long-term assessment is needed. And I try not to get too excited about these kind of things, especially when trying to give consumer advice. I do think, however, do one's due diligence, speak to some people that might be owners. I see a bunch of them here in the Hermanus area. As South Africans, we like to stick to the brands we know and trust. This is a legitimately good car, especially the Tiggo 4, because it fits into a category where value is paramount. Yeah. I definitely think this car is worth a closer look. It certainly has blown me away. What can I say? The Tiggo 4 Pro range, these two models that I've driven here, it's frankly an excellent product with excellent value, excellent features. It's the kind of car I would honestly recommend to a family member. there's got to be a catch, right? And I think that's what South African audience is asking. They want to know if this warranty is legit, if the service intervals are actually what they say they are, if the cars are reliable as Chery claims. Based on what Chery have told me, they are committed to making sure that the relationship in South Africa works and that these cars sell like hotcakes and that you're taken care of. If you've got the warranty, I think it's worth a look. And if you are shopping in this segment, I definitely think these cars are at the very least worth a drive. Home to Nissan, Hyundai, Isuzu, Renault, JAC, FAW and multi-franchise branches, including the MyBucky brand and now Chery too. MyRide Group is your one-stop shop for all your motoring needs in the Western Cape and Gauteng. Visit myride.co.za to find out more.